Good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 29th. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. There's a small chance we'll see some showers today, with temperatures reaching the mid-80s or so. Things are finally starting to cool back down a little bit. In a moment, we'll hear more about the political ads you're likely seeing, and who's behind them and what they're trying to accomplish. But first, here's today's news. Dueling statements were released yesterday regarding death row inmate Robert Roberson's innocence claims. Roberson is on death row for allegedly killing his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki Curtis, in 2002, which he says he didn't do. In a letter to the House Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence, Curtis's family says Roberson's death sentence should be carried out, connecting her injuries to Roberson's alleged abusive behavior. But Thomas Roberson's statement says his brother cared for Nikki and fought for her custody. He says the statement against his brother increases their family's pain. Prism Health North Texas has brought together a community group to help improve sexual health services. The Sexual Health Advisory Group will identify changes and strategies that could help Prism better reach patients. The advisory group intends to make people feel more comfortable talking about sexual health and is funded through a CDC grant to improve STI clinic infrastructure and increase community engagement. It certainly can be hard to avoid the flashy political ads you're seeing on TV this time of year, but you might have noticed one local ad that stands out, blaming so-called soft-on-crime Democratic judges for crime rates in Dallas. These ads are from a political action committee that is well-funded by some notable Texas billionaires, and they're endorsing conservative judicial candidates across the state. KERA's law and justice reporter Tolawani Osibamawo sat down with Justin Martin to discuss why that is.
So, Tolawani, when we say billionaires, who are these people, and exactly how much money are they putting into this particular campaign?
Well, the Judicial Fairness PAC has raised more than $8 million over the course of just 3 months this year to support conservative judges. The top 5 donors gave $1 million each. So we have people like Ken Fisher of Fisher Investments. He and his wife gave $250,000 to Donald Trump's 2020 campaign. He also relocated Fisher Investments from Washington State to Plano because of a Washington Supreme Court decision. He denied that was a political move, but he wouldn't be the first business owner to move to Texas to find a more business-friendly judiciary. Then we have the Perot family. They have a real estate development company called Hillwood, which donated. But then we also have groups that gave less than $1 million. ConocoPhillips, the oil and gas company, the Concord Fund, which spent millions endorsing Trump's nominees to the U.S. Supreme Court, are some examples.
So why are these major business owners so interested in judges?
Well, it's strategy. They're less concerned with criminal justice and other social issues. The thought is that conservative and Republican judges are more likely to favor corporate interest on the bench. For example, Elon Musk donated to Texans for lawsuit reform, which has helped make it harder to sue businesses. Cal Jilson, a political science professor at Southern Methodist University, I think put it best.
They could really care less if my new car gets snatched. What they want to know is that environmental regulation is not going to drive tremendous costs into the oil and gas business.
But the interesting thing is this group is not endorsing lower court judges who make the decisions about who can be granted bail as a criminal defendant. They're endorsing appellate court judges who hear cases from lower courts when parties in civil or criminal cases aren't happy with the initial decision. Jilson says that's because district court judges are rarely defeated because their districts are more narrow and more likely to remain staunchly red or blue. In the Dallas area, the state appellate court is the 5th Court of Appeals. They're all Democrats except for one. That's who the Judicial Fairness PAC is endorsing, and challengers to the Democratic incumbents.
Let's talk about the actual content of this PAC's ads. They say Dallas has more crime because its judges are mostly Democratic, while Fort Worth has less crime because it has Republican judges. How do we know that's true?
Well, I want to talk first about the source. It came in part from a study reported in a conservative publication, the Dallas Express. It found that in the month of June, there were more vehicle thefts in Dallas than in Fort Worth, as well as more drug and narcotic violations. The Judicial Fairness PAC says it's because Democrats in Dallas let out criminal defendants on bail too often, and those people go on to commit other offenses. But it can be difficult to tell what causes crime rates to differ from one city to another. Factors like demographics, geographic size, the economy, and policing also play a role. Plus, it's not like the PAC has gone case by case comparing Dallas and Fort Worth judges and their bail practices. But the messaging is direct and effective, and in low ballot races like judicial elections, people are likely to just vote on party lines all the way down the ballot. So that's why experts say it's important, if you have time, to look into the people who you are voting for and who you might encounter in the legal system.
That was KERA's Justin Martin and Tolawani Osibamawo. The Mavericks claimed victory over the Utah Jazz last night, 110-102. They'll take on the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. Check out The Life of AFJ at Art Stillery now through November 2nd. This one-man performance explores the absurdity of presidential campaigning as it follows a candidate delivering his stump speech. For more information and other things to do, visit kera.org/calendar. Thank you for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show was produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter, written by our colleague Catherine Hobbs. Stay up to date during elections with our Voter's Guide. You can find that at keranews.org/elections. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at KERATX. If you happen to post a picture with your I voted sticker, be sure to tag us. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.